Testing 1 2 1 2. In the place to be, AC Sports Live, Tuesday night, 9th day of August 2023. I hope you're having a great day. I am. I made that leap and made that doctor's visit. I went to the doctor. So not only can the bros swim, as we saw this weekend, but we went to the doctor and got checked out. OG Rodney Sauce, OG BT, OG Curtis, Ife. What up, fellas? What up? What up? What up? AC Sports Live. Appreciate y'all hanging out with your boy on a Tuesday evening. I have a delectable habit salad waiting on me. And why salad, you ask? Because I'm all cleaned out, man. I had that good colonoscopy yesterday. And had an Ice Cube say, coming out feeling about 10 pounds lighter. Hey, man. Aquaman showed that the bros can indeed swim. Talk of the internet. It ain't even sports related, but since my man got in the water and swam 25 meters in record time, the memes are flat out outrageous. And I'm going to play the whole video that Rodney sent me. Whoever had the creativity and the wherewithal to make a Good Times intro, because when I saw the Good Times painting with chairs, I almost fell out my chair when I saw that. And then when I saw the intro that Rodney Sauce sent me, oh my goodness. I saw Aquaman. I saw names for all the bros who came to the rescue of the security guard who was ambushed. And we don't condone violence on this show. We don't condone violence on the 1585 show. We don't condone violence on the Collective podcast. We don't condone violence on the Time Is Now podcast. We don't condone violence anywhere. But you have to know better. Did they not see the boat across the way with 50 or so bros and sisters on it? Did they not see the bros and sisters above head right behind them walking the boardwalk? I'm going to talk about it. Mike Staff in the house. Sweet brother Noomsy. Sweet brother Noomsy has come back. The Mac man, that man. All right, man. Tell Catfish Cuz was, oh my God. Catfish Cuz. They call my man Catfish Cuz. I was like, is that Errol Spence? The big fish? The big shark? If it was Errol Spence, he's gonna run up and get knocked out. Catfish Cuz. Oh my God. My sweet brother Noomsy has come back. Uncle Chuck in the house. On the Time Is Now, we may not condone violence, but we understand. Shout out to Mike Staff. OG Baba Stafford went on to be with the Lord this week. We are with you, my brother. It is never easy, but you were there for me when my dad passed away a couple years back. So we here for you, my brother. You need anything? OG Papa Stafford lived a good one. Fought the good fight. Raised a pretty good young man. Salute, Mr. Stafford. Prayers with you, my brother. Prayers with you. My sweet brother Noomsy has forgiven me. All right, man. The Pac-12 is pretty much a wrap. NFL training camp. My memories of it, because it's in the middle of it. I believe tonight, after this program, I'm going to watch the Jets. Hard Knock starts today. My coach's corner, Aqib Talib's brother, just got sentenced for 37 years. I'm going to talk to you, say something on the lines of, it is never that serious, bros. My 2 cents, the Riverboat Brawl, my last 2 cents on that. My Tender Love report, I got a few. But first and foremost, Tim Anderson, you don't knuckle up and get sat down. And I have 6 sports flicks I peeped. Because as I took my colonoscopy situation seriously, I had time to sit down and watch some programs that I have not had a chance to watch. This is AC Sports Live. I'm AC. You're here. We're here. Let's go.
Hostile. I got a right to be hostile, man. My people been persecuted.
All right. Let's go. So the Pac-12 are down to 4 teams left after the departure of, what's the last 2 that left? Oregon and Washington to the Big Ten. So now the Pac-12 is just down to Stanford, Cal, Washington State, and Oregon State. It's sad, man. It's a sad day. I grew up watching the Pac-10. And the Pac-10 is a Power 5 conference. The Pac-12 was a Power 5 conference. And overnight, it's nothing. And I don't even know what to think about it. Watching Prime say, you know, it's about money. And we always know it's about money. Sherry in the house. Hello, lady. The Pac-12. The Queen Elaine's in the house. I'm with you, Mac. I'm heartbroken, man. It doesn't even sound right. It doesn't feel right. John Suggs, I'm glad Oregon didn't wait and chose to leave and go to the Big Ten. And now the ACC is talking to Stanford and Cal. That doesn't even sound right, man. The ACC is an East Coast conference, like the Big East. That would be like the Big East coming to grab Washington State and Oregon State just because it's grabbing season. This goes back to the Pac-12. Is it Larry Scott? Who's in charge of the Pac-12 TV deal? I remember during the pandemic, we were talking about how the Pac-12 needs to get with the program because we weren't ready to play no football during the pandemic. And the TV deal was crap. We were on the Pac-12 network. Nobody got it. I had to bootleg the Pac-12 games in my TV industry underground channel to watch the games. So I'm just baffled, man. I know UCLA and SC jumping ship was the start of it all. Money talks, and you know what else walks. Is it greed? I think we talked about this on the 1585 show, how greed, if it's not ruining sports, it's definitely putting a damper on it. Ronnie says, someone's uncle looking like Frankie Beverly in all white swung those hands and never got dirty. Lost his hat and dropped his shades. I have to watch the footage again. That sounds like LeBron James commercial when he played 5 characters and the guy said, what'd he say? Pretty boy. Didn't want to get his hair wet and he jumped off the high dive and his afro didn't move when he got in the water. Yeah. We smooth like that. I heard the man with the chair was a former WWE wrestler. Very much possible. Cash rules and ruins everything around me. We got to call Method Man and them to put together a track in honor of Big Baby Jesus, old Dirt McGirt. Cash rules everything around me. Flip it, rewind it, stop it. Cash ruins everything around me. Dollar bill, y'all. They trying to say the NIL was going to ruin college football. Turns out TV deals are going to ruin college football. Now, I did see somebody posted that, did anybody take into account the student athletes and their time management issues that will ensue when these changes happen next season? And my response to that was they never really cared about that. So it's not a big deal. We've always had no sleep. We've always traveled and got back to school in the wee hours of the morning and were asked to go to class the next day. That's nothing new. But now it might just be escalated just a little bit. And everything will work out because weather-wise, all those winter, cold, snowing areas get to come to the West Coast in November and December if they schedule properly. But the tragedy is the Pac-10, man. What BT said, grew up watching Pac-10 basketball on Raycom Sports. Man, they're just really saying, screw you, Pac-10 and Pac-12 enthusiasts, with no regard to tradition. They're not even keeping the brother schools together. Oregon is gone and Oregon State's still here. Washington is gone. Washington State is still here. At least UCLA and USC went together. Now, I believe Cal should go with the package deal with UCLA. Since UCLA was a spawn of Cal, if my history serves me correctly, that's why we're Bruins and they're the Bears. But we pieced out on them. So now Cal's lumped with Stanford going to the ACC. It's pretty much a done deal. The Colorado dipped. Everyone thought that Deion was running from the competition. No, Deion was going, and it's not even Deion's decision. If you watch his press conference, Deion said, it's about money. All he wants to do is win. Doesn't matter who he play against. So I think it's a tragedy, man. I think it's upsetting, but it's the day we live in. Elaine said, who would ever think that could happen, that the PAC is done? I mean, the Big Sky, Conference USA, even the Big East. I thought the Big East was kind of, a big dog when it came to basketball in the 80s and 90s. The Big East was a gauntlet of teams from Georgetown to St. John, Syracuse, all those teams. And I think they've all kind of scattered through the ACC and the SEC. And, it's all about revenue. It's all about paychecks and TV deals. So the travel for Arizona and Cal to the ACC would be ridiculous. Now that would make a difference. That is 5, 6, 7, 8 hour flights. And if they don't have the budget, they're going to be flying commercial. Not their private charter. That's going to be, I think if they go to the ACC is going to make it worth their while so they can at least fly comfortably. George Kliavkoff has been the leader of the Pac-12 since 2021, is the commissioner. I think the problems were before 2021. I think he inherited the problem from the COVID situation and the TV deals 5 years prior. And he had no clue on how to rectify it. Max said the footage is like watching a Royal Rumble. Oh, talking about the chairs? You talking about the chairs? Send Q in the house. Big dog, where are the final Pac-2? Who wants Washington State and Oregon State? They got to come to the Big West. They might as well join the Big West. My son plays in the Big West. They play against Oregon State, game 2. They might as well come on to the Big West. We don't have a number. It's not the Big 12 of the West. It's the Big West. So we got room for 2. Might as well. We'll play against DJ Uiagalelei. Game 2. Big name. Big time players. from a PAC Power 5 team before the demise of the Pac-12. So we're not happy about it. I wasn't happy about UCLA and SC going to the Big Ten. But what you gonna cry for when there's nothing you can really do about it? You know they didn't account for the players. They only care about the dollars and cents. That sounds like a DJ Quick song. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Sherry says Pac-12 doesn't have any visibility beyond the West. They haven't evolved with the business of college ball. Sound like an old get off my lawn type of perspective that the Pac-12 leaders, decision makers. Joshua in the house. Joshua says Pac-10 sealed their fate when they went after Texas and ended up with Utah and Colorado. Ooh, you gamble big, you lose big. But I didn't think we'd lose this big. I thought we might just go back to Pac-10. I thought we would just go back from 12 back to 10. Keep it small. Not try to do too much. But dang, we're down to the Pac-2. They gonna play each other back to back to back. They keep playing each other over and over again. They gonna have to schedule some JC. They gonna have to schedule Mater Dei and Bosco. That's what they might have to do. The reason they have no visibility is because two things. ESPN froze them out of a great deal like they did the SEC. Also, when the Pac-12 was getting started on their day of games, people on the East Coast are wrapping up their day of college football and getting on with their lives. The time difference. How do we resolve the time difference? I think I've gotten accustomed to it. But if I'm on the East Coast, it would be hard for me to stay up late to watch a 7 o'clock game if I got to go to work on Sunday. Sugg says, only way Pac-12 have a miracle is merge with the Mountain West like Boise State and those teams and try to get North Dakota to join also. Is North Dakota a 1AA or are they still Division 2? They're the champs every year, right? North Dakota, the Bison, where like Carson Wentz and them guys went. I think Josh Love got the other quarterback that went there. They produce pretty good players. I don't think they're ready for them in the trenches, but they might as well. They might as well step it up. Chairs need to be another convo for another day. I got to touch on it, man. I went to go buy some chairs. They was all sold out at Walmart, man. A full convo. The Mountain West. What did he say? The Mountain West. Yeah. The Mountain West. What did he say? He said Mountain West. I think he did say Mountain West. Coach Cam. It's the Mountain West. What'd I say? Did I say it wrong? They're talking about the Mountain West Conference possibly dissolving, so they may add those teams to the Pac-12. So the Mountain West teams, I saw a graphic that said the Pac Mountain West, the Pac-12 Mountain. Jabari Britt in the house. Hey, nope. The Mountain West might be the new Pac-12. That they're gonna have to rebrand it. They have to rebrand it. They just can't. Voila! Fire the Pac-10 commissioner. Fire him. Did you just put OSU and Wazoo in the Trinity League? They wouldn't go undefeated. The Trinity League is tough, man. Jay Sarah's no punk. Orange Lutheran's no punk. And you know Bosco and Mater Dei pretty much have a store-bought Division I team. It would be a tough game. Conference title games opened up the door for this. Conference title games. How much money is generated from conference title games? Money is the root of all evil. So North Dakota State is 1AA, FCS, so they're not eligible for the Bowl Championship Series. They will be if they join the PAC. No different from NBA, NFL. You stay up if the product is good. Well, the NFL's moved their games up to 5 p.m., 8 o'clock Eastern for I want to say the Sunday night game and Thursday night game. Monday Night Football, I believe they still start pretty late. So I guess you're right, Cherie. I don't. If you really want to stay up, you will. But it has to be a good product. You can't go out there with New Mexico State versus New Mexico. North Dakota State is FCS. 1AA. I said Big West. You know I'm old school when I say the Big West. The Big West is Long Beach State basketball, right? I'm just mad the Pac-12 is dissolving, man. Mountain West needs to merge with the Pac-12, not the other way around. Exactly. Now, will that eliminate the Pac-12 from the Power 5? Does that make the Pac-12 a Mid-American? Lower tier. North Dakota State would be great addition to the Mountain West Conference or the Pac-12. They got some solid players. They do. Do they have the interior linemen? Lazarian Criswell, Coach Dante in the house. That's a dope name, I must tell you, bro. Your name is flat out dope. If I'm playing football and I get to announce myself because I'm starting this game, I'm getting up there saying my entire name with my middle name. Lazarian Criswell, linebacker, Texas University. What up? Jimmy Mack said they don't put up good products all the time in the East either. They will put on a game with Alabama versus Furman at 5 p.m. instead of putting on Oregon versus Washington at 2 p.m. They do that all the time. You will watch Vanderbilt versus Kentucky, which is a weak game nationally, instead of USC versus Stanford. Spot on, man. And I don't watch those games. I take a nap during those games. And I wait for the nightcap. Expanded playoffs. Pac-12 still has an automatic. They will survive. Just need to survive. Do they survive with those Mountain West teams coming to the Pac? San Diego State, San Jose State, Fresno State. They can hold their own. I think it can work. Max said Monday Night Football doesn't always have a great ratings when they have trash teams playing. Even Thursday night games don't have. Well, we saw a ton of bad Thursday night games. I think out of what 15 games last year, we only saw like 2 good ones on Thursday night. It is hard to pair a team that just played on Sunday and get the product on the field. It would move them to the group of 5, replacing the Mountain West, and the other 4 would be the Power 4. That's disheartening too. I used to take pride in the Pac being a Power 5. All you had to do was be undefeated, which is almost impossible in the Pac 5. I said the Pac 5. It used to be the Pac 5. In the Pac 12, it's almost impossible to go undefeated because we have so many rivalries. Well, guess what? That's a wrap. The Pac 12 would be a mid-major conference. Tragic. What conference is Hawaii football? Mountain West. We get to travel to Hawaii. My son's at San Jose State. We're going to Hawaii. If not this season, next season. The Aloha Bowl every year. How about that? Well, every other year. The Pac-2. Never forget. All right, man. So we are all upset about it. It is what it is. It's happening. Nothing we can do about it except wait for the new batch of the Pac-12, which is probably going to be the Mountain West. I can't believe I said the Big West. And I'm going to watch my errors and omissions. That's what y'all. New angle alert. Technology. I got to upgrade that camera up there. Training camp. So I'm excited to watch the Jets tonight on the Hard Knocks program. Training camp memories, man. What do I remember about training camp? Before I move on, Max says It's sad that the conference with the most NCAA titles across all sports falls apart, and the conference with the worst academic standards is thriving. The SEC won. ESPN was basically turned college football into minor league football. That shows it ain't about academics. No more student athlete, just athlete. They ain't going to class like we went to class. They're going to training for the next level. Holla at your boy. All right, so training camp is underway. We saw the Hall of Fame game last week. We saw DTR play pretty well for the Browns. He's going to make a team. Training camp. And a couple of my buddies on here are in the same boat as I. We had a cup of coffee in the NFL. Someone asked me, man, how is training camp? Is it like when we were young, 2-a-days and a lot of conditioning and dues being paid? I mean, I remember being hazed as a rookie, but it wasn't anything demonstrative or evil. It was just get me some Gatorade, Rook, and bring me some donuts on the plane, Rook, and stuff like that. As far as the competition, you would think it was an open competition. As a 24-year-old rookie or a 25, 26-year-old first or second year player, because I was able to get to 4 training camps, and they're pretty grueling. And that if you're trying to make the team, you're a crash test dummy for special teams, and you have to go through hell and back to show yourself worthy to make the team. And you're approaching cut day almost every day, it feels like, because every day you're under a microscope to perform. It's a tough hustle, because you never know when your number will be called to get reps. And then when you do get reps, are the people that are evaluating you even watching? So you're just trying your best to survive. You're trying your best to stay healthy. You're trying your best to prove you belong. Those who are drafted have a little bit more cushion and comfort and stability and insurance that they will be there because they got a signing bonus. For instance, my rookie year was in Arizona, the Arizona Cardinals. I had a choice of 5 different teams to choose from as a rookie free agent out of UCLA in 1997. As soon as the draft was over, my phone rang. The Kansas City Chiefs, the Green Bay Packers, the New Orleans Saints, and the Arizona Cardinals offered me rookie free agent deals, $10,000 or $5,000 just to sign. I went with the Arizona Cardinals because my defensive back coach my sophomore and junior year was Larry Marmee, and he was the defensive back coach in Arizona. I figured that he knew who I was. He knew I played hard. He knew I was a good learner. I listened and I learned. So they brought me in. Rookie camp, veterans come. You're working hard. You're learning from the best. I learned from Aeneas Williams. I believe we even worked out against Jimmy Mack and the Bears. They came to town and worked out with us. 2-a-days were grueling. I don't think they have 2-a-days anymore. Special teams was a nightmare. I literally had anxiety about special teams because I was always going against a double team when I was a punt coverage gunner, and I would have to go against 2 starters. I remember one training camp, I was with the New Orleans Saints, and we had to play against the Kansas City Chiefs in camp. And I had to go against, I believe it was, what was the name of those 2 defensive backs for the Kansas City Chiefs? They were just killers. And I had to see them 3 days in a row. And then we played against the Cowboys, and the same thing. Starting defensive backs, 2 of them. And you had to go against them, and you had to win. Thankfully, I had enough speed to win majority of my reps, but that was pretty much how I was either going to make the team or not make the team. I've already told the story about when I got cut from Arizona and I refused to answer the phone. They had to come get me. But training camp is a monster. Your feet hurt, your back hurts, your knees hurt, and there's no room for a day off. There are no days off. There's no, I'm sore, I'm too sore. It's a grind. And then the special teams nightmares continue all the way through preseason, because that's how most free agents make the team. Special teams. Something that we probably didn't spend a whole lot of time doing at college if you're a starter. Those who take special teams seriously in college have a great chance of making it in the NFL because you can play a long time. Our teammate Brendan Amedejo made a career of it and got several Super Bowl rings, several Pro Bowls as a special teams bandit. I'm actually encouraging my son right now to find a way on those special teams. It is a way to make the team. So I can't wait to watch this Hard Knocks with the New York Jets. Last year, I was pretty pleased with the Detroit Lions Hard Knocks. I actually became a fan of some of those players. And even Dan Campbell, the head coach, he was real. He was fake and phony, but he was real because he really cared about how he approached the game. It's who he was. He's pretty much a WWE character, and he was entertaining. Let's see if Mac chimed in. They never tied me to a goalpost. All right, so the story with my camp, Ty Howard from Ohio State was a 3rd-round draft pick, and he refused to carry pads. He refused to bring donuts. He refused to be hazed, and he went about it the wrong way. All they really asked us to do was sing, carry bags, carry pads, bring donuts, bring Popeye's chicken. And the warning was, not man is going to get you if you don't participate in the rookie initiation. Ty Howard, one day after practice, came to his locker and found all his clothes tied up with tape. Went home, went to the dorms where we were staying for camp and found all his clothes tied up with white tape and drenched in water. So that batch of clothes is ruined. He goes to practice the next day, angry, ready to fight anybody he found out was involved. It was all the veterans, of course, so you really can't pick one out. It's like the scene from Life when they said, "I'm the pappy." So he's upset with the team. He's upset with us other rookies, like we didn't have his back. And we try to warn him that it wasn't that bad. The stuff that we were trying to, avoid doing, we were just going ahead and do it because it wasn't worth the not man coming. They took him, tied him up with tape, and threw him in the cold tub and wouldn't let us help him out until he was in there for a good 3 minutes. And our cold tub was the size of a jacuzzi and 5 feet deep. So he was pretty much in there struggling for his life. We finally got him out of there. And from that day on, he brought donuts every day. Popeyes on the plane. Max said, I also watched Colin Cowherd basically make Cal and Stanford look like second-rate academic institutions. He vaulted Notre Dame ahead of both of them with his rhetoric. I'm sure he did. Max said, training camp is a psychological traumatic experience. Sometimes you didn't make the team, not because you were bad, but because they believe a guy fits a certain profile and you don't, even if that guy sucks. Now, I did say this last week. There are some dudes in the NFL who flat out can't play, but they fit the team. Those who make decisions like those dudes around. Politics. When I saw you with the Saints during those practices, it was like seeing a long lost family member. It was jubilant. I was so happy to see you, but then I was like, so how's it going? You're better than about 3 of these dudes. And you were like, I'm not getting the reps. Same thing happened when I played against Arizona and they had Kevin Jordan. And I'm like, KJ, you're better than half of these dudes. He said, I know, but I'm not getting the reps. I'm probably not going to be one of the guys. Kevin came to the Cardinals. I was on the Cardinals and Kevin came to the Cardinals. And I'm like, yes, we're both going to make the team. And no, we both got cut. It was terrible. I was the only person to ever gain weight during 2 days. I went from 152 pounds at the start of training camp to 168 when I got cut. I was like, why are you not getting any reps? Didn't make any sense to me. Politics. Matthew Slater, to your point of being in the league forever. Bill Belichick loves Matthew Slater. I believe he's still in the league. He's going on his 20th year. He got in the NFL when LeBron James joined the NBA. He's been a Pro Bowler, I think, like 10 times. Then Q says he's nuts. KJ came to the Arizona Cardinals. I'm like, yo, 6'3", 6'4", bench press the world. Good speed, great hands. Oh, yeah, he's going to make this team. My man came to camp and didn't get no reps. I was like, what? Why did they bring him in the first place? Training camp is a grind, y'all. All right. A story that kind of went away, but it returned. Aqib Talib. His brother, I want to say it right, Yaqub Talib, the brother of NFL cornerback Aqib Talib, has been sentenced to 37 years in prison for the murder of a youth football coach. And if you watch the video of when this happened a few years ago, I want to say during COVID, it's with all the kids present. Rodney said he got off lightly. Brothers, it is never that serious. Take notes from the riverboat brawl. Just throw hands. If you really just upset, throw hands. Two years is way less than 37 years. He probably won't survive 37 years. If he's already 50, he's going to probably die in prison. That's probably why he got off lightly. But when is it ever that serious that you would put all those kids in danger, lose your livelihood, ruin your brother's career? Because now he's attached. All you hear about is Aqib Talib's brother. He was on, I want to say Aqib Talib was on is it NBC or the CBS broadcasting games. It was hilarious to watch him do it because he was so hood and real. But I thought there was a spot for him on a Peacock or somewhere like that, because he was a real cat talking real noise as a broadcaster, which was funny to me. I thought I think that's where we're going with this, where you have Kevin Hart and Snoop Dogg, Cameron and Mace making, commentary fun again. But we haven't seen Aqib Talib since this happened. So his brother's actions have cost him a space in the entertainment world. We have to take into account our actions, man. Max said he should have gotten sent to Siberia. Something. Ross said those kids can never get that innocence back. Well, our kids have dealt with trauma upon trauma upon trauma. Sad to say, a lot of our kids have seen stuff like that. Our inner city kids have seen stuff like that, and I've known those types of things to happen. And sadly enough, it would come to a commonplace that we become immune to it, and there's no place for it. A youth football game, you so mad you're gonna kill somebody. I saw the family beat up the referee that one time. And I got some referees on the line. Rodney Sauce and C&Q are both professional refs, and they got to deal with hostile fans all the time. Add them to your prayer list, because it's people out here on the fringe, man. Not only attacking referees, they're attacking other parents. They're attacking their kids' coach. And I sure hope this wasn't over no playing time. I didn't get to read the story, or they never really disclosed what they were fighting about, what was the situation. But it couldn't have been to the point where I need to get my burner. I need to get my heat. I need to get my peace. I need to go get my gat, and I need to kill this person over this youth football game. Never that serious, guys. Condolences once again to that family who lost their family member to this idiotic, ridiculous situation. It is never that serious. D Mac Fi in the house. You no eat. Hey. Aswad OG Northside, never that serious. And I know you right there connected to it. You're a coach. You know exactly what it's like. Them parents is hostile, unreasonable. Not that serious, man. The well-being of our kids be way more important than our little feelings being hurt, our little ego being hurt. Because now you're going to be doing time making a spread with some Cheetos, some hot Cheetos, and some hot water and some ramen. Talking about he shouldn't have said what he said to me. That's why I had to do what I did. It's never that serious, fellas. Never. All right. Moving on. We moving on. All right, so the riverboat, it's not sports related. However, a chair is still a chair, even when you're swinging it in the air. All right, I gotta show the Rodney Sauce video. Rodney Sauce sent me a video, man. I almost stopped the car. Somebody got enough time on their hands to make a video with good times. All right. Starring brother doing co-starring Michael. And we gonna the aunties, the bros of Alabama, created by consequences and repercussions. That one right there, and the picture with the chairs. Oh my God. Oh my God. Watch. Oh my God. The brother's doing his job. Throw your hat in the air. It's over with. Michael Evans Phelps. That's Aquaman, the bruz. Unk with the chair. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm going to leave it at that. And I agree, Joshua. We should not be celebrating because everybody in this video is going to jail. This is beyond public combat. However, the joy and satisfaction that people are feeling right now, because one brother was jumped by 6 white folks. And for my white brothers and sisters that I love dearly, because we grew up in the melting pot of Long Beach, and we have all types of people that we know and love and grew up with. But down south in Alabama, I can only imagine the indignance, the ignorance, the shut up and get out my way N-word. Matter of fact, take these, you 65-year-old dock worker, not recognizing the boat full of brothers and sisters across the way, the 15 or 20 or so brothers and sisters walking up top on the top of the pier. What they used to tell us in little school, in elementary schools, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. You get what you get and you don't throw a fit. I'm going to send you that video. I'm going to put the video in the link. Rodney Sauce sent me this video and I can't unsee it. He need his butt whoop. He need his butt whoop for sending me this video, because you know I can't. Let me see, how do I copy it? More. It won't let me copy that. How do I? Let me see. It won't let me copy it and send it. Let me see if I can open it and share the link. How do I share the link? More options. Here we go. Copy. Oh, I don't want to do that. Copy. My man threw it in the air. When he threw his hat in the air, that's pretty much saying hooty hoo. We should not celebrate this type of violence. If there is ever a but, this is it. This is it. All right, can I comment on my own thing? I'll put it in the chat. There you go. It's in the chat. Have at it. They found out that day, Missy Lane. They found out. Don't do that. Don't do it. You never know. Big Sam in the house. What's up, bro? Miss Mac, I went to the doctor. Can I get my props? The crazy part is that these memes and videos come out almost seconds after something happens. Man, they should have never gave you brothers Photoshop. I seen some stuff. They should have never gave these brothers After Effects. They should have never gave these, because it goes back to the quick trap songs they made when they saw Sweet Brown say, "I ain't got no time for that," and they made a whole song out of that. And then they saw old boy that said, "I saw those little girls in that house. There's some more girls in that house," and they made a song out of that. And then they saw an opportunity when I think the good pastor Shirley Caesar said, "I got memes, greens, potatoes," and went crazy and made a song out of that. Nobody's exempt. If blacks was fighting together like this in the 50s till now, a lot of things wouldn't have happened. Hangings and etc. I would hope there will be some truth to that, D-Mac. The only reason we saw this one is because everybody filmed it. And it was on a boat. Now, had we been on land, people would be dead because they would have guns. Luckily, their guns aren't allowed on a boat or near boats. There's not an open carry. They don't allow it. You would hope that sticking together and having each other's back would stop the violence. Period. You spent all day looking at memes. Josh said, I get it already before you finish. Sick and tired of being sick and tired is another title of the brawl. You're going to find out today is one title. And then the other one is when you mess with a people that's sick and tired of being sick and tired, you get what you get. The first one of these scenes was a young white man. Shout out to him. The first one on the scene. And they pushed him away, right? He trying to be a peacemaker. Why did Ricky Smiley interview the chair? Oh my God. I think it's more of a fighting against the privilege that people like that constantly use. Where were you when OJ was acquitted? I remember being in the ice tub at UCLA, and I was in the ice tub next to my white teammate Brian Wilmer. He was in the other ice tub, and we had those individual ice tubs. And he said, I can't believe you're happy that he was acquitted. And I said, it was bigger than him being acquitted. This is for every person who has been wrongfully imprisoned by the system, the system that has not served justice to us. Now, did he do it? He probably had a lot to do with it. But in this one time, we had enough money and the right representation to beat the system, because the system is designed to protect those who can afford the right legal representation. And this is one for the bruhs. And we gave OJ back in the race draft. You can have OJ and we'll take Mariah Carey. Something like that. That's what I saw also. He quit early, but still. This is about imaging and not the celebration of violence. This was about not taking any shiznit from a society that is trying to warp back to pre-civil rights times. Imagine if the older people in our families who were humiliated while trying to live a normal human life had the guile this generation of people have to fight back. Had the ability, the desire, and just knowing, yeah, you're probably going to go to prison. Like, I believe there are warrants out for the 4 bros who rolled up after the fact, no shirts onto the boat and grabbed them guys off the boat. I think there are warrants out for those guys. I believe everybody that was visibly the instigators got arrested. I understand, and then I watch. You missed the video with Luther. A chair is still a chair, even when there's nothing. When no one is sitting there. Big Miguel. I had the picture though. I got the Luther. Don't worry, we got Luther. Luther is still singing. Luther is blowing. A chair is still a chair. Andrew Caldwell, I don't like men's anymore. Tandai said, blacks were D. Nat Turner, revolt. Hold your wife, hide your kids, hide your husbands, because they out here killing everybody. Initially seemed like sticking together until it didn't. OJ, he was in class at UCLA, and it got real uncomfortable in there. Depends on what class you were in. Yep, the first brother on the scene was a white man. He backed off, quit, but still. Not only did they push white dude away, they swung on him, they swag at him. They try to get him up out of here. I asked years ago on Facebook, was America capable of being in another civil war? Most said no. This could be a preview, but the outcome may not be the same. I said that today to my buddy. I said, this might be the start of something we don't really want to go into. I ain't black. I'm OJ. All misdemeanors. Everybody gets out of prison on Monday, and they all laugh about it at the picnic. pretty good with until the guy with the chair hit a woman who was already done with the fight, sitting down with the chair. That was bad. But if the chair was really flimsy, like a wrestling chair, misdemeanor. We're on the same page with this, AC. He wants me to move on. Dude that swam across barely made it. He almost did make it, but Aquaman, Catfish Cub, got there and put in some work. Max said he was in Ackerman when OJ was announced acquitted. And it kind of divided some people. It divided friends. It divided the team. He said that swim stroke was getting weak early. Aquaman was struggling. That they want the chairman to turn himself in. Yeah, he put in way too much work. He was cracking everybody upside the head. It got good to him, and he went too far. He went too far with the chair. But that's my last take on it, man. I don't condone violence, but this time, everybody go into jail for a little bit, at least for the weekend. But you do not jump the 65-year-old brother who simply said, move your boat. No need to put hands on that. The chairman got arrested on site, but there it is. All right, let me keep it pushing. I'm going over just a little bit. Tender Love. Oh, here we go. It's time. I got a couple before I get to Tim Anderson. A couple Tender Love reports. And y'all know my Tender Love report is simply things I've seen on my feed that I think are soft. The Washington Commanders players. Some Commanders players are concerned by Eric Bieniemy's intensity. The last time I checked, most NFL players are in the age range of 24 to 32. Another man's intensity in a professional sport are raising concerns. Do you understand how intense our coaches was in Long Beach in the 80s? Do you understand how Coach Harris, Coach Neely, Coach Tony, Coach Jerome, Coach Valentine, these men were barely getting paid a stipend. If anything, they were volunteers. They were daddies. Tony and Jerome were trash men. They worked a hard 9-hour shift and came to coach us. These men were so intense. If the other team scored, we were crabbing and doing up downs. Don't lose a game. We'll run, as Coach Harris said, till your head swim. I don't know what that means, but you're going to run until your head swim. Mama drill, alligators, bear claws, up, down, 6 inches, suicides. You name it, we got it. These jokers getting paid millions of dollars got a coach that's intense. Because Riverboat Ron, no pun intended from the Riverboat Brawl, Ron Rivera is a calm, cool guy. Well, Eric Bieniemy's not. Eric Bieniemy's in your face. And he's not getting the same results he got with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. So he's going to be in your face because now he has to coach. So you're going to get another version of an intense individual that demands excellence. So shame on the Commanders complaining about somebody being intense. I would hope my coach is intense. Sam said it's football chumps. Intensity is key. It's football, chumps. You have to be on edge. They were borderline psychotic when we were growing up. Jabari, they made us hit, and don't talk about no concussion. It wasn't even an option. And there is no other coach that has your back like Eric Bieniemy. Miami Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill's posted, take that coaching and get better. We all been through it. It's tough, but I promise you, it will make you better. Hill's former teammate, Mecole Hardman, now with the New York Jets, quoted Hill's post in agreement, writing, I promise. Can't be that soft, man. Can't be. It's football, man. It's football. How about this one? Steph Curry said, asking for the ball, begging for the ball is the weakest move in basketball. Calling out all his fellow gunners in the NBA. Why are you crying about not getting the ball? Begging for the ball. Shots fired. Let's see if we see some hard fouls on Steph this season. I like it. Oh, Lord, here comes Miss Mac. And you know Miss Mac will call somebody a BAN in a heartbeat. This is a good one. Let's keep it going till midnight. Miss Mac said these athletes nowadays are soft. The Euro step travel is the weakest move in basketball. I think the double step back is traveling. The gather step back, which makes it weak and soft to me. Tim Anderson. Do I have a picture? I don't even have a picture. But the Chicago White Sox versus, I believe it's the Boston Red Sox. Do I have a shot? You knuckle up and get knocked out. And everybody's afraid of Tim Anderson. I believe he was supposed to be some type of bully, but then got knocked out. So now you're on the Tuna Love report. Don't knuckle up and get knocked out. Glass Joe. Glass Chin. Tim Anderson had a good square up before getting put down. The Cleveland Guardians. That sounds like an expansion team, man. The Cleveland Guardians. That's why I said the Boston Red Sox. I can't believe they named that team the Guardians. The Guardians of the Galaxy. Come on, man. All right, man. I got to rip off these 6 sports flicks. I had to do my colonoscopy, so I had time to sit up and watch some good sports flicks. All right. It was the same ending as the Indians. Had to do it. They got to go. All right, man. I saw Goliath, the Wilt Chamberlain documentary on Showtime. Didn't make me like him anymore. Didn't make me hate him anymore. I kind of have an idea that Wilt Chamberlain was a unique individual. And being the Big Dipper had its ups and downs. It is still interesting to see how he was a very unique individual, just as Bill Russell was a unique individual. He was probably the polar opposite of Bill Russell, but incredibly gifted, awkward, but still worth the watch. Goliath on Showtime. I watched. Now this one, surprisingly, Big George Foreman. I paid $2.99 to see it. Was the Wilt Chamberlain? Yes. A very big a-hole. Big George Foreman. I almost cried on the Big George Foreman because he had to go from multi-millionaire to nothing, being robbed by his accountant, and had to go back in the ring. And when he got touched from God after he lost that fight and totally gave his life to God, I felt that. So, and they did some outstanding casting. This brother that played George Foreman, I believed it. The brother that played Muhammad Ali, I believed him. I even believed Joe Frazier. They put naps on his temple just like Joe Frazier. They casted him perfectly. And the dude that plays Sonny Liston, oh my God, he was the scariest brother I've ever seen in my life. Please watch George Foreman. Big George Foreman is a great, underrated film. It's $2 on Prime Video right now. It's worth $2 for sure. The Golden Boy. Oscar, man. Oscar is a wild boy. He is not the Golden Boy. I'm glad he's getting his demons out. But my God, man, take care of your kids. The worst father. The worst role model. I'm glad he's trying to clean things up. He's trying to make things right. But man, he had us fooled. We thought he was I know he had a tough dad. But my God, man, he's up there. He might be worse than Wilt. He might be worse than, you know what I'm saying? His reputation is trash. Even Bernard Hopkins is like, yo, what's up with the fishnets, bruh? We're supposed to be business partners. Max said that nose candy make you do some strange things. He did some strange things for just for the fun, for kicks. I even watched the Untold Jake Paul Problem Child documentary on Netflix. I can't stand these dudes. But when Mike Tyson pretty much approved this message that these guys are actually bringing life back to boxing because of their promotion, because of their draw, not because of their boxing expertise, because they did bypass the entire amateur process and fought one amateur fight and then they went pro, which is not the sweet science. But the kid knows how to promote. The kid knows how to build a fan base. He knows how to be the villain, and he's embodied it. He's personified it. He's accepted being a villain. Nobody likes him, but they watch him. So he's magnified that hate thing that Mayweather had, that people want to see him lose. And we just saw him lose to, I want to say, Tommy Fury. He beat Nick Diaz. Nick Diaz took a fall, just like Woodley took a fall. I think most of his fights are staged. But when he went to the, I believe he went, where did he go, to Saudi Arabia somewhere, and had to go for a fair when he lost a split decision. But very interesting documentary. Max said he ain't boxing real boxers though. I hadn't watched him fight at all. He fought Tommy Fury and lost. Tommy Fury is a real boxer. Nick Diaz is a mixed martial artist. He's gonna beat him. But if you fought Nick Diaz on the street, Nick Diaz whoops Jake Paul every day of the week. He just grabs him, grapples him, and breaks his arm or something, chokes him out. So, but the documentary is actually pretty good. It's entertaining. I still hate those dudes. Why do I hate them? Because their talent is limited. I'm glad this guy found boxing though. He's not bad. He's getting better. Elaine said, I don't like him and won't watch him. I understand it. Winning Time is back. Ooh-wee. Magic Johnson is a piece of work on Winning Time, man. Good Lord, Madge. Shoot, I'm not going to spoil the first episode of the new season. But Magic Johnson was a piece of work. Going up against Cap. Messing around with these women. That's how you caught the magic in your Johnson in the first place. Being reckless. But it is definitely worth the watch. Winning Time is back. Episode 1. Check it out. I think last but not least, I finally saw Paterno. Man, I knew Sandusky was a dirty dog. And I heard that one of the coaches actually saw him in the mix with a 10-year-old boy, and he said little to nothing. And I'm going to spoil it since it's been out for so long. But Joe Paterno turning a blind eye, not just in 1998 and 2001, but this dude was on his staff in 1976, messing with little boys. And Joe Paterno did nothing. I wanted to go to Penn State once. I loved Penn State. I liked the dark blue, Nittany Lion blue, and white uniforms. Having Philadelphia roots, I wanted to go to Penn State. It's in Pennsylvania. But my goodness, man. The university's bigger than righteousness. What is right? Doing what's right? Man. That was wild, man. I had forgotten about it. I think I watched the Jake Paul. Was it the Jake Paul or was it Winning Time? I watched the Winning Time, and then the next thing that came on as I was not paying attention, I was watching film, breaking down film for the team I coach, and the Paterno movie came on. And I just started watching it. Al Pacino did an excellent job playing Joe Paterno. And it was sad how his demise occurred. But as I got to see more and more and how he was really, really trying not to address the problem within his program. And that was Jerry Sandusky and his molestation of little boys. I hope he rots in prison for what he did to those kids. Those kids have to live with that, and there's no place for it. We have to protect our kids. All right, man. That's my show. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with your boy. All y'all, man. Y'all make me feel nice and warm and cuddly. I think we got up to 20 people today. That's pretty sweet. I appreciate y'all. Once again, the show is brought to us by All In CDO Training, the future of commercial driving. If you are interested in getting your CDL license, we have scholarships to pay for your fees, so you won't have to pay for pretty much anything. So hit us up, www.allincdotraining.com. Hit us up on the phone, 909-708-4861. Or email us at allincdotraining01@gmail.com. Shout out to the Time Is Now podcast. Shout out to the Collective podcast. Shout out to the Sucker Punch podcast. Shout out to all my brothers out here in the struggle. And as we go, I thought I had one more. That might have been it. To all those riverboat brawlers, salute. Till next time, y'all. Peace and love. Peace and blessings. Love, peace, and happiness, as Don Cornelius once said. All right, y'all. Next time. Peace out.